right? Because the reason why you probably don't know where to look is because you don't know what you're actually being asked to do.
Yes.
Okay. All right. So the next one, component 3, is indexes, numbers, and transformations. Indices and transformations. Great. It's only 2 chapters or units, 3.1 and 3.2. The first is looking at index numbers. All right, so with indexes, you've got specific formulas. There's the general equation. I'm actually going to take this, copy it, and paste it. Okay, why? Because this tells you what an index is. All right, an index is looking at a number or a measure of how something has changed compared to something else. Something else. And in brackets, it's a base year. Okay, they always look at a base. Okay, the base. So like with CPI, the base is a specific year. And then every year thereafter references the base. Okay, so that's what you're looking at here. So what is an index? It's just a measure of how something has changed, okay, over time. All right, so here they've given you January, the prices of potatoes was 6 Rand per kilogram. In May, the price was 10 Rand. What is the price index for May if January is the base? Okay, so if January is the base, well, then we do what we did here. What was February's price? 10. What was January's price? 6 times 100. Price in a given year over the base year times 100 gives you however much this is. 10 divided by 6 times 100. 1.66. Okay, 1.66.
Okay.
Well, 166. Right, that's what the index. Okay, so then you would write this down. You would write Jan equals 100 in terms of the index, and then Feb would be 166,6666. Why? Because it has gone up. Yeah. Right, so there has been a 66,6667% increase in price from January to February because the amount is 166.
Yeah.
Okay, so it's the 100 plus an extra 66.
Okay.
Right, that's a big increase. Okay.
That's a hell of an increase.
Yes. Okay. You've got a few others here that you can look at if you want to. We'll look at the ones in the examples in the study guide. Okay, here's a good one. I'm also going to copy paste this, a weighted average index. Alright, so sometimes you might use a weighting because of a basket of goods. Alright, so they normally talk about CPIs being weighted according to what people buy. Okay, so people don't always buy the same goods. You might buy more of one good versus someone else.
Yes.
Okay, so your CPI might be more or less. Okay, but this is just general. So when the government has CPI, it's a general estimate of how much inflation is for a basket of goods. Okay, whatever that basket of goods is. Okay. Right, then they show you how to do the weightings there. You can see this is Lasperis. Okay, Lasperis is important. I've seen them test this before. Okay, so copy that, paste it. There's another formula. Okay, what else? There's Parsk. I've also seen them test it. So copy paste that. Okay, they might ask you about Parsk. It's just the formula. That's the formula. Pn times Q0. P0 times Q0. Pn times Qn. Pn times Qn. Okay, it's just, I'm literally just going to follow the formula. Okay. Let's see. This base weighted index. Okay, let's copy paste that as well. You might need that. These they might even give you in the formula sheet. Yes, they do. See? It's there. You just need to remember them.
Yeah.
Which one is which?
Yeah, the thing is just to remember which one.
Yeah, which is Lasperis, which is so on and so on. Yeah. So QLN, this one, QLN, that one is Lasperis. Okay. Parsk is this one. P, C, P, QP. So QP is Parsk, QL is Lasperis. It's not too bad.
Okay.
L for Lasperis, P for Parsk. Okay. Right, Right, save those equations. And they show you some examples here. Okay, the examples we'll do are the ones in the past paper. Okay. I would suggest you go through some of these on your own and see would you be able to do the calculations, okay, just using the formula. Okay, if you struggle, then we can discuss it next week and I can actually go through a specific example here if you're not understanding how they got the answers. Okay, but I want to obviously do the ones in the past paper because you don't have solutions to those. Okay, we'll create solutions as we go. Value indices, we've looked at this already. We can copy paste that. An index is just looking at prior year. Okay, so a value index would be looking at value from different years, a base year. Okay, like for example here, calculate the value index for William's household of Ashton for 2012 with 29 as the base year. Okay, so you've always got a base and you've got the current year, and you're comparing what we have currently to what we have previously. Okay, then CPI is economics. Actually, I'm not going to look at that. That you can go to your economics and check that. Is there anything else here? No. Okay, not too bad. Alright, we will do examples when we look at the past papers. Okay, transformations and rates. What is a transformation? A change. Okay, a rate would be almost like a rate of change. So like how quickly or slowly something changing. Okay. CPI is what? Inflation. Okay, so consumer price index is inflation, and here they've looked at inflation over several years. Okay, then they've comparing that to cost of living, so you can compare it. So if you look at this, column 1, base year 1994. Right, if the base year is 1994, the base year would have been 100. Okay, looking at all of these dates, notice 1994 starts there. That's your base. Okay, so everything is compared to what? 1994. So obviously anything before 1994 will be less than 100 because things would have been cheaper in the past than they are now. Anything later will be more than 100 because inflation goes up. Does that make sense?
Yes.
Okay, so the thing is, the base year is important. Okay, where are they and what are they using as the base? Here they use this as the base. Here they use this as the base. Okay, so you're either going backwards in terms of going smaller or going bigger going forward. Okay. Well, that's just theory. That's just theory. Deflating wages. Okay, deflation means to reduce. Okay, so inflation, this is worthwhile writing down. Inflation is the general increasing or increase of prices over time. Okay, deflation is the general decrease of prices over time. Okay, it doesn't happen that often, deflation, but it can. Okay, it happens when the economy is not doing well.
Yeah.
Okay, then things are going backwards, not forwards, which is bad in a way. Okay. Alright, so that's fine. Okay, exchange rates. Do you know what an exchange rate is?
Yes.
Okay, two currencies. So for example, rands to dollars. Okay, how many rands do we need to buy dollars?
It's now at 14 points.
No, it's not that much. It's gotten a bit better. It's
I've
about 13.
It's
about 13.
on Wednesday.
Yeah, it's about 13-ish. Okay, yeah, it did weaken quite a bit recently. You can check. Let's check what the current day. What was Friday, or what is today's exchange?
So
Should be about 13, yeah.
I work with this every or almost every day.
Yeah. You can actually just go to Google and type it in.
Yeah, actually I just opening Google still.
There you go.
Guess it.
Dollar. Yeah, see, it's about 13, 12.60.
Oh, it got better.
Okay.
Awesome. So that's good.
Alright, so I'm just going to use 13 just to keep the numbers simple. 13 to what? $1.
Yeah.
Okay, so now that means if I've got, let's say, if we had $40, how many rands? What would you do? Add, subtract, multiply, divide. What do you want to do?
You multiply it by 13.
Yes, okay, because $1 will get you 13 rand. Okay, it's like a price. It's like buying something. One of this is that. Okay, so $40 would be 40 times 13 gives you however many rands. Okay, rands.
Awesome.
Right.
Okay.
If I gave rands, if we had 14,500 rand, how much dollars? How many dollars?
So it's divided by 13.
Okay, then divide exactly. Okay, so it's pretty straightforward. I think because you work with this as well, it helps. Okay, 14,500 divided by 13. It'll give you that in dollars, obviously.
Yes.
Okay, great. Alright, let's talk about a fine ounce. Okay, a fine ounce is just the unit of measurement that certain commodities are measured in. Okay, so like gold. Gold is priced dollars per ounce. Okay, it's just like a convention. It's like how people price certain objects. Okay, they use the unit of measurement of an ounce. Okay, like there. Okay, how many fine ounces of gold are there in a kilogram? So it's just looking at a conversion. Okay. Alright, growth rate would also be important in terms of changes. So let me put this here. Changes from one year to another. Okay, how do you work out growth? Well, 2000, 2001, 2002, and so on and so on and so on. Okay, could you look at a growth rate? Yes, so a growth rate would be the percentage change from one year to another. Okay, from one year to another, to another, to another, to another. Okay, so you could work out growth rates here. Also, it kind of looks at that whole start over end type of thing. Okay, a little bit. Alright, so that's kind of what they use here as well in terms of a formula. Okay, I don't like using the formula because you can actually do it on the calculator. Percentage changes. Okay, so we'll do that later on. Okay, so ignore the equations for now. You can use the time value money calculation on the calculator to do the workings. Ooh, workings. Okay. Alright, so yeah, that's just an example there. They've used an equation. We don't need to use equations. See, even they said use the calculator. Okay, it's much easier. Alright, so that we can...
But they don't really show you how to use a calculator.
Okay, should we do this one? Let's do this one. Okay, the real GDP for 2005 is that. The real GDP for 2011 is that. What is the growth rate from 2005 to 2011? Okay, so T0 was what? Present value. T, how many years is that? 6. Yeah. Is 5, 4, 5, 3, 6, 5. Future value. Okay. N is obviously 6. Solve for I. Can you work out I?
No.
Grab the calculator.
Try. If I find the I, I'll work it out.
I have Y. Insert variables. How many variables do you need in the calculator?
6.
No. How many time value of money workings do you have? What are the time value of money? What are the time value of money variables? Ooh, we really need to get to chapter 7. PV, FV, N, I over Y, and PMT. Remember that? We spoke about that like
Okay.
2 weeks ago when I showed you all the calculation.
Yeah.
Okay, so how many do you have? 5. How many do you have here? 3. Which one do you want? The fourth one, which is the unknown, which is this. You want the I over Y.
Oh, so that's what I'm working out.
Yes.
Oh, okay.
So put in the PV, put in the FE, put in the N, get the I.
Oh. Okay. Yeah. I'm doing something wrong.
Okay, remember the calculator gets confused if you don't make one of them a negative. So make that a negative.
Okay, so.
Second function, clear everything when you start a new calculation.
Okay. It's I just did it, and so I didn't do it.
Didn't do what?
I
Clear.
thought I cleared it, but I didn't. And oh, that's there it is. No, I'm doing something wrong now.
Okay, clear the calculator.
Okay, so it's second function in here,
Reset.
being on reset. Was I? Guess I'm
Okay, what is the N? 6. So press 6, press N. Okay, what is the PV? 4, 6, 1, 6, 5, 6. That needs to be negative, so plus minus. Make it a negative. Now press PV. Okay, what is the FE? 5, 4, 5, 3, 6, 5. FE. Compute. There's it. 2.8. There we go. Done.
Yeah, I forgot again to put the minus.
Okay.
And yeah.
Alright, but see, you don't have to use that because you can use this.
Okay.
Alright, so there we just did an example. Now you know how to do a calculation like this on the calculator. Alright, so that covers that. Perfect. Component 4 now.